Once upon a time, up in the cold mountains, a dwarf king ruled his people in pain. Clouded by wealth and desire, he could not see the misery he placed upon them. Work after work inside the mines, not able to see the light in sight. Death and disease decimated man and sheep, and a new evil was lurking in the shadows to be revealed. Many have left this place of torment and moved in the valleys to live off the land. Farmers and blacksmiths have used their skill to build new villages and live in peace. The story of the Mad King traveled across earth and sea to reach the ears of the Almighty Council. Ancient dwarves could not stand the greed of the North King. They sent a warrior chief to lead an army against the king and set the people free. Back in the cold mountains, the evil was getting stronger, and a strange sense was spreading in the streets. Endless nights of work and suffering turned people's soul to somewhat dark. An evil monster emerged from the ashes to lead an army of shadow creatures, what the mountain men become. The Mad King was laughing in his throne when his loyal guards approached. "What is the meaning of this?" the king shouted. "We are under siege," a trembled voice said to the king. The king stood and walked to the balcony, only to see his town in flames. Creatures with familiar faces march upon to attack his castle. Through the noise and the heat of the fire, only then he realized how wrong he did. "On to the arms!" he screamed, and the war on shadow creatures began to be. The evil grew and assembled armies, with feared creatures by its side. Black clouds filled the skies under where the mountain lies. The evil was spreading across the land and wanted the people to fight and get mad. Only the ancient warrior sent by the council could clearly see the scheme of the beast. He fought with courage against the dark and awakened some of the shadow dwarves. The fight for earth has torn land and lord, where brothers in arms were as far. Endless armies march upon to take what they want the most. Shadow creatures want to kill and take the world away in the deep. Dwarf companions fight to free their homes from the dark and live again in their land. This is the story of the Mad King and how the Great War begun, since the land became a part and ruled half by light and half by darkness. Fear is now among the people that want to live away from all of these. The choice is now for you to fight and control the armies of the light, to free the earth from shadow creatures and clear away all the darkness left inside. Shadow creatures you might choose to be and crave for ancient dwarves to kill. With the help of ancient dwarves or shadow creatures, you can end this old war. You can conquer the whole world and rule the people in shadows or not. Dwarves, a tabletop miniatures game for 2 up to 6 players. Embark at a campaign as a dwarf or a shadow killer to conquer all the cities of the ancient world. You fight dragons, monsters, wolves, and even hyenas. For conquering the ancient world and becoming the king of all. Each player has an army of followers and a chance to enhance it with resources and equipment, as well as to strengthen its attacks and defenses against the other players through a series of cards. The goal of the game, whoever has the last surviving miniature wins. Alternately, the player who captured the majority of ancient cities after an agreed number of rounds is the winner and king of the world. The players can agree the number of rounds for the game to finish, in order to maximize or minimize the playing time as they like. Dwarves contain 3 dwarf leader miniatures, 3 shadow killer leader miniatures, 60 dwarf axe soldier miniatures, 45 dwarf sword soldier miniatures, 60 shadow killer sword soldier miniatures, 45 shadow killer spike morning club soldier miniatures, 2 flaming dragon miniatures, 2 ice dragon miniatures, 4 wolf miniatures, and 4 hyenas. In addition, the game contains 55 cards, including equipment cards, double attach cards, double defensive cards, resources cards, dragon cards, wolf cards, and hyena cards, dices, a map, and a rulebook. The world is changing. Would you conquer the ancient world as a dwarf or a shadow killer? The choice is yours. Please pledge your support and make this game real. Thank you.